The Greyhound was designed to take over the Emerald Champion in size, strength, and everything else really. Today, it has finally done that. Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the Greyhound in all of its glory. I spent 2 whole days non-stop working on this beautiful creation. I have the Emerald Champion next to it for some comparisons. This is going to be one hell of a video. So why don't we just jump straight in. So if we look at the 2 engines side by side, they are pretty much the same height. And that's a good thing because I do like my trains to be very tall. It looks very powerful that way. Kind of like the Alleghenies, which is a pretty cool engine. It's a 2666. And if you haven't seen it before, I recommend you go have a look because it's a very cool engine. And there are some ideas I took from that. Well, when I say some, I mean like a few. One of the ideas was the implementation of the yellow, which breaks up the blandness of the grey and the black, because otherwise it would just look so boring. The stripe does look quite nice if you ask me. It goes across both tenders, and it matches the height that goes along this plate piece that goes along here, which is very good indeed. So we go back to the front again. Lots of yellow, by the way. I think it might be a bit too loud, but for now I'm going to keep it as it is because I spent a lot of time trying to get all those yellow pieces put together. So heading back to the front, we do have the cowcatcher piece here, which is always really nice. A little gate piece. We've got a little area for the workers to come along, stand there, clean the face a little bit, tidy things up, and just whatever else a worker would do on that area. We have a light on the front as well, nothing too complicated. If we go back over to the Emerald Championship, you've got like a bell and just a bunch of other pieces that really don't need to be there. So I've kind of tidied it up a little bit. I've still got some roundness, as you can see, in the funnel here, which is a bit odd because I would have preferred to try and get the actual round pieces, not the square ones. But I couldn't really find those at the time, so I thought I may as well stick with that for now. I probably will make some changes to tidy it up, but it doesn't look too bad if you ask me. These, I'm not too sure what was going on here. I wanted to add these pieces in just to, like, you know, break up the boringness and the roundness of the boiler. But I didn't want to add smoke deflectors because it didn't work last time. And on an engine this big, it just can't work. So I thought may as well try something. And, you know, it's not too bad. Again, these are probably going to be little things that will be changing in the future. Little details that won't be sticking around for too long. But it is nice. Especially since I got some pieces that have little printed numbers on them. So it's the same on both sides, so we have this little detail here. Also, I have some stickers, these little train stickers, and there's another one there, from the high-speed passenger train, the city train that is, that I didn't use, so I thought I may as well put them onto here if I'm going to ever, you know, bother using them. I think it suits it, honestly, it does look quite nice. As we go down the boiler, we go into the drive wheels now. 4 sets of 8 drive wheels. The Emerald Champion used to have that, and honestly I think that would look much nicer. I very much do prefer this because it does look more sturdy. And one thing, since I'm mentioning this, if I move this around real quick, I'm putting almost no effort into moving that and it's so light. This, on the other hand, feels so heavy. Like, compared to the Emerald Champion, it just feels so heavy, my god. Don't worry, you will be seeing a full, proper video of this thing in action. I'm going to get as many coaches as I can until, like, the loop is filled up, basically. So I've got the 9-coach express there, I've got the 2 Metroliner coaches up there, I've got the 2 Emerald Night coaches, the 3 custom high-speed ones. Hopefully that'll be enough to fill the circuit. Yeah, I'm just looking around, I think there'll be enough space. That'd be a hell of a video. So let's move on, shall we? We go over to the top now, which is just some more detailing just to break up the boringness. It's just, you know, like a special, like, boiler piece. I don't really know what that is meant to be. But, you know, it's nice just to see some more color to it. It's really good. The boiler is the same, sorry, it's the same build technique used for this boiler. So it's 4 studs wide inside. So it's a 4x, so like a 4 stud wide base piece. Then you've got the bricks that actually have the studs on the outside facing outwards that allow these to be put on. So it's 2 tile pieces, then the slopes, which brings it to be about 7 studs wide, I'd say, or even 8. Because this dish piece, first of all, should be grey. I need to get a grey one of those, so that's something I need to do. And also, this grey dish is 6 studs wide. So it looks to be about 7 or 8, looking at the boiler. Can't really see it too well in the Emerald Champion, but you can see where the edge of the face is compared to where the edge of the boiler is. And that is, you know, another example of how far out the boiler design works. I'm not too fussed about, you know, the size of the face piece, but if there was a little piece that was, you know, just a tad bigger, I think that would have been a bit more satisfying. But again, it's not actually a problem, so why don't we just carry on, shall we? So one thing I did want to try and do, we've got a yellow stripe going along the bottom, and that goes across all 4 of the drive wheel sets. It's a hidden detail, but it's a nice one. It does actually go behind the wheels as well, as you can see, just where I got my finger. The wheel is in front of where the base pieces continue, so it isn't actually too bad. Go forwards a little bit more because we are skipping a couple of details. We have some more sticker pieces, as I said earlier, some more just other details. I did want to try and find some more of these pieces. So if you can see there, sorry, if I take the piece off, oh, there we go. So that's what the piece is. I was thinking instead of having tiles going along the boiler, maybe have some more of these. It would be interesting to try it out. I'll probably have to get some more pieces on Bricklink, just see how that works. If it doesn't, then, oh well, I'm not too fussed about that. But let's just carry on. The cab is the front cab from the previous design. I've kept it pretty much the same. We have one person in there for now. We'll get some more minifigures in there, do not worry. There's plenty of space, which is pretty good. And what I can do is take off that bit. Though I want it to do that, so I know how to... Sorry, I know where to put it back on. So we actually go to this back bit here. You can see that it is a 4 wide gap. This was the front piece when it was on the previous model, so the window piece was there. I do like having a little smaller gap, you know, because on the Emerald Champion it's a 6 wide gap there, but it's only a 4 wide gap here. It's a different detail, and honestly it's nicer because, you know, less exposure when it goes around the corners. It's pretty nice. And since we got this exposure piece here, why don't we talk about the little build of the wheel sets themselves. So it's very heavily built up because this is very tall, this boiler. Sorry, another voice break. And yeah, what was it? How did it all come about though? Because that's the thing. It was very tall. It was much taller than I originally wanted it to be. Ah, I remember why now. Because of the pistons. So this is the same design, obviously, as you see here. It's the only sort of realistic piston power thingy I know how to do. I will be making some more changes in the future just to bring out a little piece to make it look more like a cylinder. But give it some time and it will look better. So we've got that to do, we got this to do, and this to do so far. So yeah, back to here. It was, you know, there was this whole space that was just empty. I thought, instead of just leaving it empty, why don't we actually put these pieces in? The wheel arches over the wheels like I did before. And that looked really nice on the Emerald Champion before the XXL wheels came in. So I gave it another go. It took me a while to get all these yellow slopes, but I was able to find enough in the end, which is pretty good. Before we attach the tender, we have some coal pieces inside, which I think is really nice. I have gone about leveling... Come on, focus. There we go. So I have taken some time to actually take the base piece off and kind of level the coal. Tell you what, let me try and do that now. Oh god, this is not going to go well. Careful. Come on, one take. Aha, there we go. So here's a better look at it. So this is what I have put onto it. So a bunch of the 1x1 round pieces. They are taller as you go to the back. So the idea is obviously when you get the shovel, you're going in for the middle. So it's going to be taller on the outsides and lower, ooh, without dropping it. So yeah, it's going to be taller on the outsides and lower on the inside. So yeah, that's why it's all sloping more on the inside. It does look realistic, and that's what I like about this. I took a lot of time to get some details right, and obviously, if it's going to take over the Emerald Champion, it needs the same level of detail. The camera's not focused either. Come on, you ruddy thing. There we go. So the first tender, move it forward so you can see a bit of the piston power in action, very cool, is kind of plain, to be honest, but it's not overly complicated, which is probably the better thing for it. So it's got the special roof pieces that were used on the Santa Fe. Obviously you can see the other pieces there. You know what I mean? Because it was these like pieces that are used for the roof. I don't have any to hand, so I can't really take any off either to show you what I mean for the actual brick themselves. But yeah, it's just nice and tall. It's got a lot going for it. Yeah, it's not overly complicated. That's what makes it really good. This is one of the funnels. So there are a total of actually 3 funnels. So we got this one, which I kind of overlooked. But at the same time, it's a little thing that's just there. It's not really something to focus on. And there was this one there. So the idea, when you look at this, if it was just a big boy, as if these were the only 2 that were there, both of those Mallet units will have the smoke go out of this chimney here. Or sorry, this funnel, but you know what I mean. So the idea of this one is that it's for those 2, and any excess goes out of this little one here. We have the 2 whistles there, so that is not the whistle, okay? They are 2 different things. And it's just details, you know, that just making sure things going right. Anything that's excess probably goes through the pipes. It's nothing to really focus too much on, but it's just little details to make it look so good. And we have little handrails there to make sure no one falls off when they're cleaning. And it just looks like a nice tender. But what looks even better is the second tender. Oh man, look at that. So, Frisco Fe is on the side. I do like using that piece because it's, you know, it's the fact that it has something written on it. It's more than just a boring, like if I just showed you like that bit, the boring grayness is a bit, but seeing the writing, oh look at that, it just looks so much nicer. We have the yellow stripe going along the top, obviously it carried on onto there, and on the back is a special piece with the train logo symbol on it again. I think that's from the one of the 2 train station sets. I'm not certain, to be honest. But at the same time, it's not too much of a fuss. We have a yellow flag. Of course, we need a flag because why wouldn't it? And just some more detailing pieces here. So on this, it has water, oil, electrics, and pneumatics, which are, you know, some of the maintenance things that you need to keep an eye on. I think that's more diesel stuff, that sort of thing, honestly. But, you know, it's just the fact that I've got something that looks more exciting on there. I know a little lever, or lever if you're American, piece just for the sake of it being there. And it just breaks up the boring shape again. So if we take these tenders now and actually compare it to the Emerald Champion tenders, let me shuffle forward. Professional. First of all, these tenders are much longer. You can see where they end up. And honestly, that's a good thing because I do have quite a lot of the dark green pieces left over still. But in the build techniques that I've... Oh, something's broken on there. Lost my train of thought now. What was I on about? Oh, yeah, so I've got the green pieces, but the special pieces I've got for the roof, I want to have more of those to be able to continue the extension. Plus, I didn't like having all 4 drive wheels on one set, so I've reduced it back down to 3. And I prefer it as that, to be honest. It's not a bad thing, but going along the top for the detailing, you know, just odd things here and there, it just breaks up the boring shape of it too. Again, there's the flag, there's the coal bay, and you know, just, it looks so nice, it really does. Well, it does to me at least, which is why I've done it. Head back up to this end a little bit, we look back at the cabs. We've got some more detailing going along the top there, again with the idea of a second funnel, just to get some more steam and smoke out should anything happen. I didn't really do that this time, I just went for a nice clean look, and honestly it looks nicer. We do have 2 pieces, like little slope pieces there, kind of match the height of the whistles. And that was pretty good, I like that too. And as a whole, it just works fantastically. Oh, I'm falling over. Okay, set myself up. And there we go. So the Greyhound is finally at its full potential. Ah, the fun bit now. The action video. Stick around for that because that is going to be one hell of a video to watch. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.